Hi friends, this is my fifth experiment. Fifth experiment aim is to use the concept of subquery and the correlated subquery. First command is retrieve the name of the customer who booked the card. That is the name of the customer who and all booked the card. For this I have used the query select distinct first name last name as a single name. From the customer details I have given the customer details table object CD where this exists in the car booking table, so that this customer ID as customer ID of a customer details must be equal to the customer ID of the car booking table. If both is same, then that customer have booked the car. Able to see here the customers who and all booked the car. These are the person who booked the car. Next one is display the details of the car booking issued between 1st January to 1st December. For that I have used select star from car booking where booking date is greater than 1st January and less than 1st December. Will give you the person who will give you the details of the car booked in between these dates, that is 1st January, and in my output the dates are from 1st January, between 1st January and 1st December. Next one is display the name of the people who booked the luxurious car. First name and the last name as a single name. From the customer details I have given is that the object CD must exist in the car booking table, that is the customer details customer ID must be equal to the customer ID of a car booking table, where and the car ID must be equal to 101 or car ID must be equal to 105. These two are the cars which are luxury. So the person who have booked the luxurious car has shown here. The next one is display the brand of the booked car more than one car, that is the brand of the car which is booked more than one. For that I have used a subquery select count customer ID from the car booking table B1, where the car details table car ID must be equal to the car ID of the car booking table. These two car ID must be equal, these two tables car ID must be equal, and it must be greater than 1, so that car ID will be displayed here. The type of the car will be displayed here. See here Ford and other two companies of the car are displayed. These are the cars which is booked more than once by the customer. The next one is display the customer name who booking type is private and booked for Xylo. Xylo is a type of a car. Here select first name last name as a name from the customer details CD where exist in a car booking table. These two IDs must be similar and the car ID must be 104. So the Xylo car ID is 104 and these two customer ID of these two tables must be similar, so that that person name will be displayed here. Here Alexandria John has booked Xylo car. Next one, name of the customer who has used all the cars. We have to use an exist operation here. Select a distinct first name from the customer details C, customer details C, where not exist in the subquery is select car ID from car details minus select car ID from car booking. Car booking is another table where car booking customer ID must be equal to the customer ID, customer details customer ID. So these two tables customer ID must be equal here, so that this ID must not exist in this must not exist in this table, that is customer details table. If so, the customer who has used all the cars will be displayed, that is Alexandria has used all the cars. My next one is name the car which is used by all the customers. The car which is used by all the customers. Here a slight change from the previous one. Previous one is a customer who has booked all the cars. Here the car used by all the customers. so that the car difference from the previous one and here is, here we have used customer ID, so the customer who had used all the cars will be displayed. Here I have used car ID, so that the car which is used by all the customers will be displayed. Next one is name the brand of the car which is used by the customer more than once. So the car which is used more than once. Here in the subquery, I have counted the customer ID from the car book in table B1, where this car details car ID must be equal to the car ID of the car booking table. So when these two car ID must be equal and it must be greater than 1, so that that car ID will be displayed, that brand of the car will be displayed here, car type. That's all about my 5th experiment. It is all about subquery and correlated queries. Subquery is nothing but a query inside a query. A subquery will be executed first. With that result, the outer query will be executed.